Hey guys, this is Mike and Paul from the Young Creative Council. We've got a little surprise for you creative monkeys. This week we're doing the weekly score a little bit differently, using Skype, QuickTime, GarageBand, kind of a proper bodge job. But we've got Aaron Draplin from the Draplin Design Company from Portland, Oregon on the other end of the line, and we're going to ask him some awesome questions. So Aaron, how are you?
Good, man. Just woke up about an hour ago. Getting a hunger going.
Paul and I met you back in November of your sort of back end of last year at your Tall Tales from a Large Man, which is that kind of talk in a warehouse in that flat and that kind of shady area of Shadwell. What have you been up to since?
Well, that being the greatest show I've ever given in my life, it's all downhill from there. I don't know. It was really fun. I was all jet lagged. I started to cry. You remember that shit, right? It was weird. More logos, more stuff, more gigs.
Just give us a bit of a broad kind of background into how you got into graphic design and what you're doing now.
Well, I'm from Detroit, but when we were little, we moved north into northern Michigan, which was really kind of rural, right? But my dad was really creative with woodworking. My mom would make baskets. And then I had an uncle who was an architect, and then one of his sons was illustrator and artist and whatever you want to call it. And I, from a young age, got sort of one uncle's an engineer, so he's making things in incredible handwriting. So I was exposed to just, cool pencils and sketchbooks and shit from my cousin, and then my uncle having this job for Ford Motor Company that he was actually designing seats. I've been around that stuff sort of all my life. It's some little weird thing. Maybe a little more than just getting some stiff job. You know what I mean? I was around that. And then, of course, being this precocious little shit, I like to draw. And my mom got me going in that. So I've always loved, writing my name and making my own type for it. So that's kind of where this stuff starts. That's young, too. That's 5 and 10 and 6 and all that shit. My love for this stuff has always been this weird surprise that it was actually fun.
Yeah.
Because I was told you would hate your job. I was told that you would hate, no one likes to work, and this never feels like work, ever. Okay. Now, while I was out and about, I found a little artifact I'd like to talk to my friends from England about. This here represents freedom. Back when we kicked your ass in 1776. Now, this is what we have kicking around here. I don't want to get into it, geopolitical, whatever. But I just want you guys to take a second. There's Liberty Bell right there.
Fees have just gone up over here 10 times what they were 3 years ago. Do you think art school is a necessity, or design school, or do you think you can kind of make it on your own and you can kind of skip that and learn from people directly?
Yeah, this is tricky because as someone who supports art school, who loved art school, going myself, there's 4 answers. I don't whatever. The first answer is this. It's if you can go, fucking go to art school. Whatever. It's fun. You can learn all sorts of things, and there's girls there and weird artists, and all that stuff is cool. But it's knowing what it's like to pay a loan forever and then pay faithfully for 10 years and realize I didn't really chip much off of it. That adds a new twist. It's you can see I'm hesitating because it's just kind of listen, go if you can go. But if you are just there to placate parents or something, it might not be the right time. But that's even conflicted too, because it's kind of get it out of the way and get it done while you're young. There's just this idea of it's kind of all the above, man. Fuck it. It's if you want, you can always go back to school when you're 30. I just went to this Minneapolis, and I went to my old school, and I talked to a group of students. There were 3 or 4 teachers sitting there, and it was God, man, just quit. You're here. You better get your money's worth. But if you're just going through the paces, don't pay for another year of this stuff. Because I'm just going to tell you right now, when you get out, they're not going to look at your GPA. No one's going to, your grades, right? Whatever you guys call it over there.
Yeah.
No one's going to look at your shit like that. No one's going to be well, were you number, there were 60 kids in your class, and well, you were 47, so we're gonna like look at you. No, they're not. They're not. No one's gonna care about that shit. So that piece of paper you're paying for, that's not what you're going to go and show and pull out of your portfolio. Your book is what you're going to show. And that does not take a design degree. That just takes some elbow grease, to like work late and make cool things. Now, you can also be a dumbass and not know what you're doing and make a bunch of cool shit. And it's like, you're lacking because school taught you something. You see what I'm getting at here? It's like, I don't know. I don't know the answer. For me, I had to go because I had to see if I could cut it. I just didn't know. I taught myself so much. I wanted to see what I was missing. And I was missing a substantial chunk. And that, 1 year into it was like, I didn't even need to do this. But God, what a blessing. You paid for it. Do it. Is it mandatory? No, it's not about that. Who cares about the piece of paper? It's about learning as much as you can in that fun environment. So I'm an advocate of that, but I'm also an advocate of some little fucking kid who's like, fuck it, I just want to quit and I'm going to go live in my van. Fucking do it. Go do it. You'll learn a lot too.
If we just banned you from graphic design for like a year, and we just said, right, that's it, you can't do any graphic design, no logos, no design stuff, what would you do? What do you think, what else do you think you'd be doing?
That's a great question, thank you. I mean, it's a scary question, man, because, this stuff, it allows me to be, to feel like I'm, within yourself, like you're productive. You're not just, working some job that just totally sucks. Sometimes the jobs are like that, but who cares? It's more like, I think, that's such a big feeding quality for me is like, I love this stuff. I have to do jobs and make a living, but I'm getting away with it, So what would I do? I mean, I think I would travel and get in my van and just go drive or something, or take my girl Lee and we would just go and adventure, or try to play more music, or try to like be a roadie for a band. I mean, I know it sounds a little funny but stuff, but serious.
Let's talk quickly, Aaron, about field notes actually. What is it for the UK followers who might not be aware?
Well, it's a little memo book company that I make with my buddy Jim Kudal, and of course a bunch of us, do this thing. And basically, I have them at all times real close, little memo books, American made. Now, you could make them in Leeds or something too, whatever you guys, I don't know what fucking towns you guys have over there. Some goddamn, Shireville or, ye old Tavern Land or whatever you guys got going. But, the idea that, for years and years and years, I purchased these things out of like junk drawers. Because in the American West and Midwest, farmers would have them always in their pocket, with a pen, like chewing tobacco and all kinds of weird shit in their pocket. That's something that we've lost. Like men used to wear shirts with pockets, T-shirts with pockets, right? And they would keep all their gear right there. And now, we're all on iPhones and shit. So these little guys right here is just this idea of like, it's kind of celebrating analog, on some bigger level, but on a weirder level, it's just fun to make cool stuff, and use it and live on it. I mean, like you can see here, this is me, like, I was filling orders yesterday in there, I'm filling orders, man. It's like, I'm using the paper to like help me literally from this desk to 20 feet over here where after, like, I'm forgetting what the dude's order is. You know what I mean? Like, that's an old way of doing it. Yes, I could take my laptop with me, have it all printed out, have it right there, and then, whatever. And I would do that sometimes too. But there's just something nice about working on a logo and working on it right here, not having to like open an app or being on an airplane and they tell you to put all your shit away and then out comes this. Continue to like make things.
You obviously did the Nike Air Max 360 logo. You've done your mate's Cobra Dogs logo, which I remember you saying was just as important because it was one of those things where you were kind of, it was the project you liked doing. It didn't matter who it was for. Well,
yeah. I mean, the thing is like, Nike pays you money. And what's the guy in the back there? Bunch of poster boxes. To boil it down to the simplest thing, it's like, listen, we have to work to make a living. And a Nike gig is just as valid you know, I mean, it's good money, and it's good work, you know. It's like, but some people will only do those big jobs because it pays for overhead, and roofs, and lights, Skypes and things, you know, and it's like all this shit. But books, but it's like, I just love the challenge of making stuff, and it's not about the cash sometimes. It's just about helping out your buddies. Like, I have friends, I'm doing a little EP record, you know, a little CD for them right now. I mean, literally my paycheck has been a burrito. You guys know what those are over there, right?
We do. Yeah. Very popular.
So good shit. Listen, we're not going to get a goddamn curry, so relax. Did I even answer that last question? I know I get talking, but the idea that the one sentence answer is just be open to everything. Be open to the ones that make you cash, pay for things. Be open to the stuff that's just fun to help out a friend, or it's just fun to like do. Like when I'm not working, I'm working on other stuff to think through like just how to like make a better logo for myself. You know, that applies when I'm on the clock an hour later, you know.
You collect old type, you know, signage and metal plates from abandoned tractors, shall we say, and like types of packaging, and you kind of, where do you keep it all? Is, you know, because sometimes people can kind of collect stuff and they stash it away in a sketchbook and they never look at that sketchbook.
Like I have clutter here, you got. I mean, what you're not seeing, you know, I have stacks of shit on my desk that just revolve.
Can we get a look? Can you
yeah, you guys want a little tour? So look. So you can see here stuff. And you can see here memo books that we're getting ready to scan in, right? Can you see that?
Yeah, amazing.
Okay. Now we're going to have the world's foremost memo book gallery coming very soon here. These are ones that are already in, right? You can see piles of T-shirts, you know, place to put all the stuff into the packages, you know, field notes, okay? And you can come over here and take a look at some. I mean, can you guys even see all this shit? You guys can see that shit.
Yeah, we did.
No? Like, stuff. Lots of stuff. So the idea that, like, you know, it's kind of not too rowdy, but look at that. See that? The American Revolution. Let's have a little chat about the American Revolution, shall we?
Retiring at 40 is the aim. What would be your advice for someone hoping to retire at 40 rather than the kind of standard 65?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be to retire, you know what I mean? Like, you're done, and then you go. It's like, it would just be to, like, have a really clear realization of what it takes to make a living, and then be frugal. Be frugal. Not spend your life humping on, who talks like this? Spend your life, like, you know what I mean? Chasing something, you know? I work with a couple guys here they're up over my wall of stuff. And one guy's a family man. I'm seeing him with this little baby and stuff, and that's incredible. That's not about working all the time. That's a little different than us, you know, than what I've built for myself, which is just constantly seeing how far I can get and stuff. So, you know, advice, I mean, it's not about retiring. It's more like having this really clear focus of like, I only need to do this that maybe is just work. And the other stuff, I can maybe finagle a way to help that, you know, alleviate what we all have to pay for. You know, you don't need a big house, you need a little house. You know, you don't need a fucking 3 cars, you need 1. You know, that's kind of what that means in a couple of years. I won't stop working as much as I would. It will just be all for like fun shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when I'm sitting here and working, I can't help but just grab this thing and noodle around and learn whatever stupid little thing I'm listening to, and then I sort of instantly forget it, you know, and this goes back, and then I just get back into my thing, but I like having it close to try to learn, some little riff. Everyone just England, just shut the fuck up for a second, all right? So listen, all of you concerned students, go to my website, and I know you guys got cash, good exchange rate, buy some stuff. We'll ship all the way to your little hellhole, coastal, little weird, like weird lunch meat. I try to eat over there, man. You guys just come to America. But ship all the way to you guys over there. I tried to go get a sandwich at like midnight after my talk. And man, what the fuck is up with all this egg salad stuff you guys have? Well, I'm looking right at you, England. God, man. Yeah. I just wanted like a turkey sandwich, man, like a ham sandwich. Everything was mixed in with a bunch of egg and. Ugh.
I was Aaron Draplin, and we're the Young Creative Council. So until next time.